You would
Whatever.
disagree with me? Taxing the rich will not fix anything.
Bleeding so fast. Okay, we're at a point where you're growing the debt. So we're on on our own. I don't know exactly what the Canadian debt is, but Americans, we're at 35 trillion. Okay, government spending. Okay, there is no economy. Put it that way. The government's not spending and creating growth. There is
Printing
no
money.
economy. Printer? Why should the government take more money? Everybody had the same opportunity.
The reason you became rich, because the government gave you tax breaks.
It's funny how, at the end of the day, these guys are all going to be spending money. They're all going to do, whether Republican or Democrat.
Republicans are worse. They
Whatever,
spend
right.
more money.
You know what?
But they
to believe that
they campaign on being fiscal. They campaign on bringing down government spending. That's what they always do, and they're the worst.
Yeah, but
They're the worst. Democrats at least say we're going to tax more rich.
Yeah.
We're going to inject more money. We're going to do infrastructure bill. We're going to do this. They say they're going to spend money, but it's money going to the. You have to inject money in the economy. I know you don't think that.
That's not the way.
But I've watched things, and
That's not the way.
you can run a country in debt as long as it's being productive, as long as jobs are being created and taxes are being paid. You can go on in debt, but it has to have the return. If you go in debt, you don't get the return. Yeah, you're fucked.
But like how the thing is that when you're just like you're spending money, you're trying to invest. Let's say.
But it's different. You spending money as a company, because yes, you're paying your employees, but you don't get that money. The government gets that money back through taxes. So it's different. It's a difference.
Of course, I understand the science that there's like the more growth, the more taxpayers, and so that's cool.
It goes back into the economy.
But there's a point where it's going backwards at a certain point.
It only falls apart if there's like a depression or something like that everyone loses their jobs, and now you're.
It always does, though. But the thing is that it always does.
You can always. What happens? You just inject more money, and everything's happy again.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
It could continue like that. I'm telling.
Right.
I'm just. This is not my theory. I've watched videos, and they say it does work if you can continue injecting money because it comes back. Some fucked up.
We're escalating so fast. Okay, we're at a point where you're growing the debt. So we're on our own. I don't know exactly what the Canadian debt is, but Americans, we're at 35 trillion. Okay, and then in the last 10 years, what did we get to? We doubled it. You understand? In the last 10 years, it doubled. What happens in the next 10 years? Okay, we're at a point where we're not even in recession. Without government spending, okay, there is no economy. Put it that way. The government's not spending and creating growth. There is no economy. Why is that happening? Because every time we're stimulating, we're borrowing from the taxpayer in the future. That's what we're doing. The taxpayer is always on the line.
The problem is, the taxpayer, but the problem is we're depending too much on the poor man tax. Why are they not touching the rich man tax, the big business tax? That doesn't make sense to me.
Right. You tax the rich. What do? They leave.
Yeah.
They take off. So you go ahead.
Their businesses in the United States. Why are they rich?
Already,
they're rich
have
because
you heard
they
about
own big American companies. They're not going to leave. They can't just take up the
Oh,
loot.
no, they could. Look, what did Elon just did? Elon? Yeah, it was Elon that he transferred his headquarters from California to
Texas?
Austin. There you go. No, that's a state. Imagine, when you have to do it for countries. They can do it for the countries too. Trust me. They're going to tell, they're going to go to another jurisdiction and say, we want to give you 10% of your $1 billion come down. That's why.
Okay, so you're saying people in Texas don't get taxed?
Yeah, well, they don't get taxed as much.
Yeah.
When you're rich, when you make $400,000, you don't get taxed
Right.
much. But you're an average Joe. You think you get a tax break?
I'm not saying that. Of course,
That's
you
my
know
point.
that.
But that's
Yeah, but you're saying tax the rich, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
what I'm saying.
But they're always going to move. It doesn't
No,
matter
but-
what you do.
Yes,
It doesn't even matter what you say.
You make if there's a haven in the United States, yes, they can always go there. But I'm saying federally,
they take
you
off.
tax to another country. Then you're saying,
Yeah, of course they do. They go to another country.
They're all a bunch of fuckers. Whatever.
And what's hot next? You know, kind of thing. Why is people always trying to find the next hottest? Like at one point it was New Zealand. Okay, not for nothing, it was New Zealand. Everybody wanted to move there, and then it got too expensive. What do? The immigration slowed down, the population slowed down, and they go to another country. That's what these people do. You know, so the next hottest and tax money does the same thing too. So that's why people have their headquarters in Panama.
You disagree with me? Taxing the rich will not fix anything.
Doesn't me? It's all about the middle class. You have to be taxing properly the middle class.
That's
the major of the population.
That's my issue.
That's where your revenue is.
It's the middle class that gets fucked in the ass with the taxes, not the rich people. Isn't that fucked up? Like I think
should be a flat tax for 10%. That's all.
Flat, no matter how much you make.
It doesn't matter.
I
think you're more risk as
if you make more money
as an entrepreneur. Why should the government take more money? Everybody had the same opportunity.
The reason you became rich, because the government gave you tax breaks to help your company move up. Right?
We're still going so deep.
So shouldn't there be a return on interest? There should be a return to the government when you're starting out. They give you good, sensible small business tax breaks and stuff like that. You could put your car on it. You could put anything you buy for the company on it. And
Why complicated? Just do one tax. Ciao. That's what it should be, right? One simple tax. Why you have to make this mumbo jumbo? That's
You're saying everyone gets taxed.
How the tax code is created.
20%, whatever.
Right?
Well, 20% would kill the fucking. Well, I kind of got tax. No, what do you mean taxes? Income tax? What do you mean getting taxed?
Just getting taxed. You earn $50,000 here. 5,000
income tax, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just income.
Yeah, it's your income tax.
No, everyone gets.
It's got so elaborate now. Like the government has their fingers on everything.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really create a normal.
No, but everyone does get taxed the same, except when you do your taxes, rich people get more back, or they pay less taxes or something like that. Because everyone gets taxed the same. It's 40% off your paycheck, no matter what. No,
it's all different brackets. That's the tax code. If you don't understand the tax code, you'll be freaked out when you do, because you can hide so much.
Doesn't everyone get taxed 40% of their paycheck?
Are you kidding me? No.
There's ways, man.
You don't get
people
taxed
like
40% of it.
40%. How much money you think?
No, I don't know. I thought
Actually, no. Yeah, you're right.
I thought my whole life was like 40% of your paycheck goes.
Actually, no, you're right. Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
People don't get paid by
people that get a paycheck. Okay, I'm talking about those
yeah.
But that's the majority of the people get paychecks.
Yeah,
but you're talking about taxing the rich. You know what I mean? Taxing the rich.
Yeah, 40%.
They find a way.
I say when they do their taxes,
they
don't get that fucking money back, or they don't pay less taxes because they bought a Rolls Royce and put it in their company name. Like I don't think why should a guy get a tax break because he has a nicer?
That's why I'm saying though, bro. Like
no, but because it's a company car. You got it.
Yes, I know what it is. Is that right?
The rich, you know what they do. You know the rich.
Why not? Why is it wrong? If I had a company,
why should a rich man pay less taxes?
Not paying necessarily less taxes. He's getting more kickbacks, possibly.
Yeah.
Right.
The way you structure.
Yeah.
Or he has to pay less tax because it deducts from whatever tax.
Yeah, right. So he's like, I have my car to pay, the gas, the kilometers. Blah,
so does
blah,
the
blah.
average Joe have to pay?
But you don't own a business. Open up a business. Open up a business
exactly.
and start putting your.
That's what I'm saying. It's an entrepreneur thing.
Yeah.
Why should you be like, that's why I say, instead of creating all this loopholes that they've created in the tax law, just tax it everybody the same way, 10%.
No, I think there should be a scale.
It doesn't matter.
I think there should be a scale.
Yeah, but
if you're a billionaire, 10%, like you could give a little more.
That's 100K.
It's not the point.
That's like seriously,
it's not the point.
Everyone's the same. The guy making $10 an hour, the guy making $1 million a day.
He's for communism. This guy.